Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Saturday the 5th of June 2021. Today's Millwall news, we've got internationals and I'm going to bring you the details of Millwall players who have been involved in the international games this week. And I'm going to start off though with an interview Shane Ferguson has given to the South London Press or londonnewsonline.co.uk, which is South London Press's online website. And they've got this interview and it says, "It just felt the natural time to leave Millwall, but joining was the best decision of my football career." Shane Ferguson had 2 trips to Wembley during his career at Millwall, but it is the far less glitzy surroundings of the Memorial Stadium which hold a special place in his memory. The Lions look set for a third successive campaign in League One before late final day drama at Bristol Rovers on April the 30th, 2017. Ferguson's in-swinging corner was guided home by the bandaged head of Sean Hutchinson in the 85th minute. Millwall had been 2-0 and 3-1 ahead, but needed a defender numberless after spilling blood for the Millwall cause to make it 4-3 and send the 1,200 travelling fans into ecstasy. The South Londoners snatched the final playoff spot as they finished a point ahead of Southend, who had won 1-0 at home to Bury. And look at Southend now. They're out of the league. They're in the conference. They're going to be in the conference next year. They're still in business. I remember Lenny saying Southend were pretty much on the pitch celebrating before our game had finished. They thought they had done it, said Ferguson, who was leaving the Lions this summer. That game was stressful. 1 minute we were comfortable cruising and the next minute we weren't. There were just so many emotions. All I was saying to myself before I took that corner was don't hit the first man. When Hutch put the ball in the net, I just fell to the floor. Instead of going over to celebrate with Hutchie, I was thinking, did this really happen? It was one of those moments. It was a massive 3 points for the club at that stage. Once we knew we had got into the playoffs, we felt we could go on and get promoted. Millwall drew 0-0 with Scunthorpe at the 10 before the potent front pairing of Steve Morrison and Lee Gregory made the difference at Glanford Park. Morrison was on target twice, with Gregory also on the score sheet in a 3-2 victory. Morrison, so often the man for the big moments in his Millwall career, then got the late winner in the final against Bradford. It made up for the devastation of losing 3-1 to Barnsley at the National Stadium in May 2016. The squad didn't change a massive amount from the final and the team from the year before, said Ferguson. We had a lot of chats in the pre-season and we felt we could go again. The manager saw that confidence in us that we could kick on. We did have dips in the season, but in those moments, you had the big characters like Morrow and Greggs who played really well together. Webby and TC, you kept the squad together in those times. We had a lot of experience and a really strong squad for League One especially. Ferguson made 217 appearances for Millwall. He initially joined on loan from Newcastle in August 2015. I got a phone call and I was chatting to the manager at the time. He said, just come down and have a look at the club. You don't need to be signing anything. This was literally a day before we played Shrewsbury on the opening day in League One. He told me to take my time with the decision, but I think he knew that once he got me down I would sign in a hurry. I loved the setup and the place. It was a big decision at that stage to come to Millwall, but it's really paid off. It was really emotional leaving. I never thought I'd be here for 6 years. I definitely wouldn't change that for the world. I've got so many good memories and met so many good people. It's always hard saying bye to that. It just felt natural to leave now. I didn't play much this season and I want to be playing. I didn't feel I could do another season of that. It wouldn't be good for my career at all. I had a good chat with the manager. We were both really honest where we were at with it. I'm looking forward to what happens next. I've left that to my agent. I'm away on the internationals and I'm focused on that. I'm just keeping myself fit. I'll see what happens in the coming weeks. Millwall are gearing up for a 4th straight season in the Championship. Ferguson believes the future is bright. I was chatting to friends and saying I can only see the club going higher and higher, he said. The new staff coming in over the past couple of seasons, there's been a lot of improvement in the squad. The quality of the players we are signing now, it's a really good time to be a Millwall fan. The hard work has been done to stay in the league. We're comfortably now a top half Championship team. It's probably the best period in my career. So that's pretty decent things being said there by Shane Ferguson as he exits Millwall. At the end of the month, his contract will be up and he will no longer be a Millwall player. But right now he technically is, so he's going to be included in this. So he played for Northern Ireland the other day on Tuesday, I believe, or maybe Wednesday. Oh no, Thursday. Was it Thursday? Thursday. Yeah, so Northern Ireland lost 1-0 to Ukraine. They went to Ukraine. Not a bad result to go away to Ukraine and only lose 1-0. And he actually got a mention in this pretty concise match report. I'm not going to read all of it. Just this bit here. It said, however, Ukraine continued to look the more likely to score as Yaremchuk dragged an effort wide. Yarmolenko saw a later shot meet a similar fate when Shane Ferguson managed to block a close range attempt soon after. So there you go. And so he gets his name in the match report. And if you scroll down, he started the game and he came off for Smith in the 68th minute. So he played 68 minutes for Northern Ireland. So technically Millwall player while he done that. So if you go on the Millwall history site, that should be that's a Millwall capped player technically playing. He's another Millwall international technically because his contract runs out in the 30th June, I believe. So there you go. Also moving on now to this one. What's this one? Oh, this was the Faroe Islands. That mighty Faroe Islands. They got thrashed 1-0 by Iceland. Yeah. I'm not sure how. That's it's a win for Iceland, but you would imagine that they would do. I don't know. Maybe they were all over them. Or maybe Faroe Islands just parked the bus. I didn't see the game. I don't really know. I could check out the stats, see what that says. Does it say anything? Not really. It's got no possession or anything like that. Oh, this is from Eurosport.com, by the way. So just scrolling down, you can see there's Jón Daði Böðvarsson on the right flank, outside right. He played 62 minutes, so he started on the right wing, played 62 minutes for Iceland, and when 8 minutes after he went off, they scored. And the guy who came on for him, M. Anderson, he scored the goal. So doesn't bode well for Jón Daði. So there you go. So Iceland beat the mighty Faroe Islands 1-0. And you would expect them to do better than that, but I do believe Faroe Islands are part-timers. Most of the squad are not professional footballers, so yikes. Although it is a friendly, this is a friendly. It's not a competitive game. So maybe the Iceland players, being professional players, were tired after all their seasons. Although I'm sure some of them play in leagues where they have a summer season, so I'm sure they should be quite fresh and fit. So there you go. And moving on now to a bit more of a complicated story. So we've got this here. Antigua and Barbuda are playing a couple of World Cup qualifiers, but Mahlon Romeo is not involved. He's not involved at all, and it's probably because of this. And it's, if you travel to Antigua and Barbuda, you need to stay 14 days in your accommodation. You are not allowed outside, and you need to take your temperature twice a day, and then share it with the health authorities. I don't know how you do, email them or what you do. There you go. So I imagine in the past, Mahlon could just, I think it's like 3 days before the game, you fly in, you do a bit of training with all the lads, then you play the game, and then that's it. Straight after the game, sayonara, you fly back to England. But having to spend 14 days just in quarantine, so you would have had to leave 2 weeks ago, when I believe, were we still playing then 2 weeks ago? That would have been, I think the season was done, but so you would have had to do that 2 weeks ago. But you got to stay in your accommodation. So if he's in a little hotel room, how's he gonna keep match fit? How's he gonna do any exercising? If he's in if he's in like a villa or someone's home, he can, and there's a garden, he can work out there. But so you can see And I don't know if you've seen the video I made previously about when he last travelled out there. He was actually denied entry to American territory by the US Customs because Antigua and Barbuda had to go to St. Croix in the US Virgin Islands, but in order to do so they had to fly in, and the US Virgin Islands said, yeah, it's fine, you can come in, we give you an exemption because you're professional, like your football team is a national thing. It's like a diplomatic immunity kind of thing, so you can fly in. But when they go into the airspace of the US Virgin Islands is actually controlled by Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico was saying, no, turn around, go back. You're not coming here. You're not coming here. So I made a video that I'll link it. I'll link it up above. If you click on it, if you want to find out more details out. So this is, but they have got some overseas players. So for some games, Antigua and Barbuda, they just use local players. They don't really, because a lot of the teams out there, they don't really require any half decent players out to beat them. Like I think British Virgin Islands lost massively today. Another team lost to Haiti 10-0 today. So there are some really poor teams there. And Antigua and Barbuda are actually a pretty decent team, even with their home place players. So you can see here, so they have some, so they got Josh Parker, who plays for Burton, Daniel Bowery, who plays for Wilston. He's actually Bobby Bowery's son. He's a Cheltenham player, but he's on loan at Wilston. They got Aaron Sinclair from Livingston, TJ Bramford from Dover, but no, they've got all these foreign players, so I assume they've been out there for a couple of weeks. But no, Mahlon Romeo, you probably didn't want to do that, and especially when they messed him around last time. He's like, no, mate, I'm not gonna stay out there for like 3 weeks. It's just sitting in a hotel room like a prisoner. Especially when you're playing for your country and your country's gonna make you still sit in a hotel room. It's like, bro, are you serious? Can you imagine if they did that to the England players? The England players have been flying in and out of the country doing what they want. They get tested, they get professional tests all the time. They get tested daily, probably twice a day. But the nation of Antigua and Barbuda, they're gonna still mess around their national sporting teams like this. It's kind of sad, but I imagine that's why Mahlon said, no, I'm not sitting in a hotel room for 2 weeks. It's not happening. But then you could go the other way and say rules is the rules. It applies to everyone. It applies to no one. Same thing we've seen with politicians in America breaking the rules, and people are like, hey, what are you doing? Like the guy in California, the mayor of Chicago got a haircut after closing everyone else down and saying you can't go get your haircut. So they break their own rules, and that's the other side of the coin. It's like the rules is for everyone or the rules is for no one. But here you go. What do I know? So I'll link the video in about the time before when Mahlon went out there and got messed around. So that's it for today's Millwall news, Millwall Internationals. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.